move on to adding and subtracting fractions, you remember 6-1, 6-2, 6-3, 6-4 all lead to this. I guess maybe not multiplying and dividing, but it does. You have to practice those skills in order to create equivalent or common denominators, fractions with common denominators. So we're going to apply all these skills in this. We can't add fractions unless they have common denominators. When we do, we can put them over the same denominator, and if they are like terms, we can combine them. And then, like in 6-1, we will have to simplify. So when we have 5x, we can break 15. Oh, my pen is not working so well. We can break 15 into its factors. We can cancel the 5s because they're multiplying, which leaves us with x over 3. So looking at these first couple, we will do them relatively step by step. Over 12, which gives us 2x over 12, which can be written as 2 times x over 2 times 6. Because they're being multiplied, we can cancel, and that leaves us with x over 6. 3 minus 5, so this goes up since there's only one term. We don't have to worry about it. Negative 2x, you could have negative 2 over x, or you could have 2 over negative x. These tend to be the two that you'll see, but this is still okay. That negative just shows direction. So we have 3 plus 4 over 5x. 7 over 5x can't be simplified. So this is the first one where we are subtracting, but we have to subtract we have to distribute, nice little stutter there, you have to distribute the negative. You can't put it down here because then they wouldn't be like denominators. So that's an important little thing that most students don't know. So we have 3x minus the quantity x minus 1 over 4, which is 3x minus x plus 1 over 4, which simplifies to 2x plus 1 over 4. The 2 and the 4 can't cancel because it's not multiplying a quantity. So we can't factor 2x plus 1. So that's your answer. 2a minus the quantity 4a plus 5 all over 9. 2a minus 4a minus 5 over 9 gives us negative 2a minus 5 over 9. Y minus 2 minus the quantity 3y minus 5 all over 3. Y minus 2 minus 3y plus 5. Make sure you're distributing that negative to both of the terms all over 3. Like terms, y and negative 3y makes negative 2y. Negative 2 and positive 5 makes positive 3 over 3. Those 3's cannot cancel, and we cannot factor the numerator any further. X plus 5 minus the quantity 7x plus 1 over 2. X plus 5 minus 7x minus 1 over 2. Negative 7x and x is negative 6x. Positive 5 and negative 1 makes positive 4 over 2. Now we can factor out a common factor of negative 6x and 4. We can factor out a negative 2, which makes 3x minus 2 over 2. And now we can cancel, and we're left with these things. So you can have negative quantity 3x minus 2 is a good answer. Most books aren't going to write this. Whoa. Most of them aren't going to write that. Probably not. Probably not. And most people aren't going to distribute. That's an ugly 2. Can we write 2 properly? Yeah, we would probably just see the negative outside there. All right, Now, we have binomials in the denominator. Since they're still the same, we can combine their numerators. Just because it's two terms doesn't mean that we can't simplify or combine numerators. So we get this. We just got to make sure that the denominators or the binomials are the same, which they are. And this is 8 minus 6, y minus 4. 8 minus 6 is 2 over y minus 4. Can't cancel the 2 and 4 because the denominator is adding and subtracting. X plus 2 over x minus 1. Like denominators, we just have to remember to distribute that negative to both of the terms in the numerator on the right. So that becomes n minus 2n plus 1 over n minus 3. That is negative n plus 1 over n minus 3. And I'll take that. I mean, this is okay. You may see somebody factor out a negative and you have n minus 1 over n minus 3 with that negative. Maybe that might be an answer. Probably wouldn't write it with the parentheses around it, quantity, which you would have to, but you might see it in both of those. Ooh, good. So here's our first. So we got to rewrite that. This stays the same. We're going to rewrite this as negative x plus 3. And then we are going to factor out the negative, and you get x minus 3. Now the question is, what do you do with that denominator? They're not like terms yet. Those are not the same. So what you can do is you can take that and combine it with that positive because it's multiplication. So you would rewrite it like this. And now you have like denominators, and now you combine their numerators, and you get 2 over x minus 3. Again, we're going to have to rewrite that denominator in standard form. So that's negative 2x plus 3. Let's rewrite that as, let's factor out the negative, which now gives us 2x minus 3, and we're kind of close. But we're going to combine these two signs together, and we get 7 over 2x minus 3 plus 2 over 2x minus 3. Now we have like denominators. Now we can combine their numerators, and we get 9 over 2x minus 3. Again, let's rewrite it. X minus y plus 3y over negative x plus y. Let's factor out that negative. So if we factor out the negative, you get x minus y. And now let's move that negative with the positive, which makes a negative. So we now have like denominators. 3x minus 3y over x minus y. Most students would stop right there, but we can factor that numerator. We can still factor this. Very important to see that. It has a common factor of 3. We'll factor out that 3. We get x minus y over x minus y. And because the 3 is multiplying the x minus y, we can cancel those. And that leaves us with 3. Nice clean answer. We're going to move that around. 4a over a minus b plus 4b over negative a plus b. 4a over a minus b plus 4b. Factor out the negative. 4a over a minus b minus 4b over a minus b. Like denominators, combine their numerators. Now we can factor out a 4, a minus b over a minus b, cancel, you're left with 4. Love it when they're fun and clean like that. All right, now we have to find a common denominator. So much like when we had constants like 8 and 6, we did the prime factorization. So we're going to do the prime factorization of n squared, which is n times n, and the prime factorization of n. We're going to find least common denominator. So we're going to circle what they have in common, and then we're going to circle the leftovers. So we have n in common, n in leftover, so my LCD is n squared. So we need denominators with n squared. Now, this is already n squared, so we don't have to find an equivalent fraction, but we do have to find one, and let's do this, equivalent, let's do it, equivalent. We'll do that work over here, so 2 over n equals what over n squared? We're going to multiply by an n, so we get 2n. So this numerator becomes 2n. We have like denominators now. I'm going to put it in standard form. Variable comes before the constant. And we can't factor the numerator. So all of that work. So LCD work is going to be x squared y, which is x times y. We have xy, which is x times y. They have an x in common, they have a y in common, and they have an x as a leftover. So x and y in common, and then x is a leftover. So my LCD, my least common denominator, is going to be x squared y. So each of these have to have an x squared y. X squared y, we're going to keep that sign over there. And now equivalency. Well, that's already equivalent because we didn't have to change its denominator. And we have 4 over xy equals what over x squared y? So we're going to multiply by x. You get 4x. So we're going to write negative 4x plus 6 over x squared y. We'll take that. I mean, that can be an answer. That can be an answer. I'm sure that you could also pull out that negative and do 4x minus 6 over x squared y. Maybe that answer. LCD work, 2x, 2 times x. 4x squared is 2 times x times x. They have a 2 in common, they have an x in common, they have a 2 and an x as a leftover. So LCD is going to be 2 times x times 2 times x, and our LCD is going to equal 4x squared. So 4x squared minus 4x squared. That's already a common denominator. Now we have our equivalency. So 5 over 2x equals what over 4x squared? We got to multiply it by a 2x. Multiply by a 2x and you get 10x. So 10x minus 1 over 4x squared. Nothing simplifies because nothing is being multiplied or divided. We can't factor that. So now, when you get really good, you see what the common denominator, 6x squared. But we'll keep working. 3 times x times x. 6x is 2 times 3 times x. So they have a 3 in common, they have an x in common, they have an x and 2 as leftovers. LCD is 3 times x times 2 times x. LCD is 6x squared. So 6x squared. Hear that tummy right there? That was my tummy growling. 6x squared. My pen is not. So none of those have the same denominator, so we're going to have to convert both of them to common denominators. So we're going to multiply this by 2, and we get 2. And then we're going to take the other one, and what is that? That is 5 over 6x equals 6x squared. We're going to multiply that by x, which gives us 5x. And now that we have common denominators, we can combine their numerators. Those are unlike terms, so we can't do anything more than just writing them as a sum of two terms. Oh, that's very interesting up on the top there, but yeah, I'm going to rewrite it because I'm going to be a stickler. I am going to stay true to what I want my students to do. So prime factorization is 2 times 3. 8 is 2 times 2 times 2. They have a 2 in common. The 3, the 2, and the other 2 are leftovers. So LCD is 2 times 2 times 2 times 3, which is 8 times 3, which is 24. So common denominator of 24. And now we need to find equivalencies. So 4x plus 1 over 6 equals what over 24? We're going to multiply by 4. And we have to multiply that quantity, so that's 16x plus 4, 16x plus 4. And then the other fraction is going to be negative x plus 1 over 8 equals what over 24? We're going to multiply by 3, multiply by 3, so that's negative 3x plus 3, negative 3x plus 3. Now that we have like denominators, we can combine both of those numerators over the same line, over one denominator. We have like terms. 16x minus 3x is 13x. Positive 4 and positive 3 is positive 7 over 24. Nothing can factor in that numerator, so I can't turn any of that addition or subtraction into a product. 8 and 10. 10 is 2 and 5, common, leftover, LCD 2 times 2 times 2 times 5, which is going to be 40. 40, 40. Let's do equivalencies. 4b plus 1 over 8 equals 1 over 40. We're going to multiply that by 5. So 20b plus 5. 20b plus 5. And the other fraction, 2b minus 3. 2b minus 3 over 10 equals 40. We're going to multiply by 4. So that's 8b minus 12. 8b minus 12. Let's put them all on the same line. 20b plus 5 plus 8b minus 12 over 40. 28b minus 7 over 40. A lot of students would stop here. We could actually factor out a 7, and we get 4b minus 1 over 40, and that is the answer. Pretty sure, right? 4 times 7 is 28. So factor out the 7. Did I make a mistake anywhere? Feel like that's the right answer. 8, 10, 40. Yeah, that's common denominator. 4 times 5. 20 plus 5. Good. 5 and 12 is definitely 7. Multiply by 4, 8b minus 12. Good. That's negative 7. Yeah. All right. We can't cancel anything, but you could factor. And so we'll do a minus 6 over 6 minus negative a plus 5 over 15. All right, so I'm going to make an executive decision here. We're going to factor out that negative. Why are we going to factor out that negative? Because we're going to move those together. And we can do that. It's just, ooh, is that really a times 6 minus, yeah. Plus a minus 5 over 15. I don't know. It's 6 and 1/2 dozen the other. 6 is 2 times 3. 15 is 3 times 5. Common. Leftover. LCD is 3 times 2 times 5, which is 30. Common denominator of 30. Now, a minus 6 over 6 equals how many 30ths times 5? So that gives you 5a minus 30. And a minus 5 over 15. That's times 2. So that's 2a minus 10. Let's put them all on the same line. Plus 2a minus 10 over 30. And me pulling out that negative helps me with not having to distribute that negative out. 7a minus 40 over 30. No, nothing can factor. Common denominator is 6, so I'm going to multiply the 3 times 1 plus 3x. And then this, I'm going to do minus the quantity 6x minus 1. So all over 6. So I don't know if you saw how you can do that. We didn't have to change this right side, but we had to distribute that into both of them. So I'm going to have 3 plus 9x minus 6x plus 1 over 6. We have 3x plus 4 over 6. So there's the efficiency that we can start putting in. We can see what the common denominator is going to be. Let's put it in the middle. 3x plus 1. So that 5 is unaffected. And then we're going to have negative 3 times x. Because I'm going to have to multiply both of those by 3. And we have that negative. So it's negative 3x plus 5 over 3 times the quantity x plus 1. You might see it like that. You could see it as this, 3x minus 5, because we factor out the negative, and 3 times x plus 1. You could have thrown the negative down there. There's a whole bunch of different answers, maybe. You could have thrown the negative down to the 3. There's lots of different answers. Common denominator is 2 times x minus 2. We're going to multiply this 3x times 2. And then this negative 1 stays. So 6x minus 1 over 2 times the quantity x minus 2. Are you that good? Can you see what the common denominator and what you would do in order to make the equivalent? You're just multiplying by 2. Hence why we got the 6x. Same thing. We have 4 times the quantity x plus 1. That's just going to be my 3. And this becomes 4x. So my answer is 4x plus 3 over 4 times the quantity x plus 1. Nothing can cancel or simplify. Same, 2 times the quantity x minus 1. So 2x times the 2 plus 3, which is 4x plus 3 over 2 times the quantity x minus 1. Nothing can cancel. Common denominator is 30. Let's do it this way, 30. So 15 is going to have to be 2 times that numerator. And 10 is going to be negative 3 times 3 times the quantity n minus 2. We've already got our negative 3 here. And then, in order to make a common denominator, we also have to multiply by 3. So that's 2 times 4n is 8n minus 6. That's negative 9. Negative 9n. And then negative 9 times negative 2 is positive 18, all over 30. This is efficiency, negative n plus 12 over 30. You can have that. You may see n minus 12 over 30. That also might be an answer. Common factor, 30. 30. So that is going to be 3 times 3 is 9 times a minus 6. 6 times 5, which is negative 20 times a plus 6. And we get 9a minus 54 minus 20a minus 120 all over 30. Negative 11a minus 174 over 30. Let's factor out that negative. I would definitely do this one, 11a plus 174. I don't think that's a factor of 11. Pretty certain. 174 divided by 11 definitely isn't. So no common factor, we can't factor it. GCF is 20, so that's 5 times 3x plus 4. That is negative 4 times 4x. That is going to be 2 times the quantity x minus 2. You can get here where I'm doing 15x plus 20 minus 16x plus 2x minus 4 all over 20. Common denominator, or common terms, that's x plus 16 over 20. Yep. 12 is going to be our common denominators. That's 3 times 3n. That is 4 times n plus 2. And that is negative 2 times 1 minus n. 9n plus 4n plus 8 minus 2 plus 2n all over 12. 13, 14, 15n plus 6 over 12. Yes! Let's factor out a 3. We get 5n plus 2 over 12. And finally, one of these can cancel. So that's 5n plus 2 over 4. That's a good, if that's the last one, yeah, what a good last problem. Love it. All right, now you're getting good. Now you're cooking with gas.